Hello everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Cosolix. Today I got things in Brawlhalla that make absolutely no sense. So basically, I went on the YouTube trending and I gotta give shout out to Grain. If you guys watch Grain, great Minecraft YouTuber, check him out, links down below. He made a video going over the weirdest things that don't add up in Minecraft. And I'm like, hey, Brawlhalla is also a stupid game. So I made a list for you guys and we're just gonna be going over all of that. If you like this sort of content where, I don't know, I give you my thoughts. I don't know, if you like this stuff, just hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get right into this. Okay, so yeah, I've got like a list of 20 things, so let me take a look at what's first on the list. Okay, so the first thing on the list is, if you guys aren't familiar, there's a Brawlhalla tech called ledge canceling. So if I jump and I hit a ledge, I can dash or do something to reattach and cancel myself back to the platform. However, why can you ledge cancel with like a dash, if I can input it right? I obviously am trash. And you could also ledge cancel with a downlight, but why not other moves? Like, I'll do it, I can't sidelight. Why can't I sidelight? Dash is horizontal, so why can I dash, but not ledge cancel with sidelight? Same with neutral light. You can't ledge cancel it. Why? It doesn't make sense, but yeah, you just can't. Okay, next weird thing that doesn't make sense is there's some weird tech in Brawlhalla, and I've got no idea why. But if you do a backdash and then a forward dash jump off a ledge, it double jumps. It's really weird. So if I do a dash jump, that's approximately the height. But if I do it like this, if I can just input it right, you saw that? It like double jumps in height. It's like double the height. It's not like double the animation. I just go much higher. And it's the same thing off like the edge. It's so weird. And that time I hit the edge, why is it so high? It does not make any sense. What the hell? Okay, so here's another weird thing. So if you don't know, weapons actually have slightly more force if they're heavy, and they've got slightly less force if they're lighter. But why does every weapon toss go the exact same speed? So if I throw like a hammer, for example, and I throw it as light as possible, it disappears right around there. But let's say I switch to a rocket lance. I have not moved horizontally, and I throw it. Okay, that didn't. That disappeared early. Oh, that went further. Why did the hammer go so short? Wait, I didn't even know this. Why is the hammer going so short compared to a lance? Why? It like disappears there, and then this one, I guess maybe it doesn't spin? But then if I switch to like Roland and I'll go sword, and I throw the sword, that goes all the way. That's as little as I can do. And then the lance goes all the way. But why did hammer go short? Why? What? The sword is also flipping. And let's take it one further. Blasters, orb. Okay, so blasters, that goes off stage. Orb, that goes off stage. Okay, so those are lighter, but they go just as far as the heavy ones. Gauntlets goes far. What about axe? Axe goes far. Why is hammer so short? Okay, I have no idea how long this list is, but we're just gonna keep going. Next weird thing. Okay, so you guys know how if you like fall low enough, you'll die? And the same thing happens if I jump off horizontally, right? I'll jump off and I can just die, right? So why can't I jump vertically and it kills me? It just doesn't. I can go as high as I want to, even if I'm in the kill box, but if I don't take a hit, I won't die. Like, why? I could go as... I don't know which recovery sends me the highest in the game. Let's just go... Let's try Lance recovery. Sorry, it's a heals. There. I'll go, like, as high as I can possibly go. Why? 1, 2, 3, dodge up. Actually, let me like, let me go jump, dodge up, jump, recovery, dodge up, and look how high I am. And I still don't die. Why? There should be a point, if you go high enough, you should also die. It's the same. It doesn't make sense that I can just jump horizontally and I'll die, but not vertically. Ugh, whatever. Okay, another weird thing. So we're going to go back to the weapon throw concept. So if I throw a weapon, you guys know that if I just throw it like that, he'll get hit very lightly. But if it's got a lot of momentum, it will hit much harder. which it makes sense. But the weird thing is no matter the speed of the weapon throw, the force increases as the opponent is in the air more. So let me kind of show you what I mean. So if I switch the opponent to here, make the position reset. I'm sorry. Come on, hit him. Yeah, why does it hit him so hard? The speed doesn't increase. You see what I mean? Like, the weapon's going at, like, the same speed, but the force keeps going. It's so weird. Like, if I throw it down, it's the same speed as if I throw it here, but the force is a lot more. It doesn't make sense. The force increases despite the weapon throw not increasing in speed. That's not how physics works. That doesn't make sense. We go next. Oh, okay. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Dexterity Stat in Brawlhalla, it basically makes it so you get less or more recovery frames on certain moves. However, on certain weapons, the stat does nothing. So if I, for example, if I'm on 3 Dexterity on Ulgrim's Lance, it's the exact same as having 2 Dex. And it's the same thing when I'm on like 4 Dex to 5 Dex. See, if I make the bot reset in time, or reset position, see how I got 4 dodge frames? Great, 4 dodge frames. Now, if I go to 3 Dex, we'll just do here. Sorry, no, that was 3 Dex. My bad. I don't know, but we're on, okay, so 3 Dex, it had 4 dodge frames. If I go to 2 Dex, and this happens on other legends as well. So watch this. If I'm on Lance, it's still 4 dodge frames. It just did not get affected. And I can still do combos like Dare and Life. So if this is one of the only things that gets affected by Dex, why is 3 Dex and 2 Dex a different stat point? However, like, why does 3 do nothing? When you get increased Dex, if I go from 1 Dex to another, that should make an actual difference. But in many cases, it has 0 difference. It's okay, next thing. One thing I've complained ages about, and you see Brawlhalla players complain, is hitboxing in Brawlhalla. Certain moves have hitboxes with no animation, and other moves don't have hitboxes, although there is an animation. So, for example, I don't think they should actually animate the hitbox accurately here, but my Nsig, right? If we go without hitboxes really quick, you see the smoke trail, right? There's a trail, it's an obvious trail of what hits. You see it all, correct? So that makes you believe that it hits at a 180-degree angle, because there's animations for that, right? Maybe a little bit behind as well, because again, the hammer swings there. But if I turn on hitboxes, okay, great, we have the first part, and then it just stops. It just doesn't hit there. It used to, and then it used to not, then they added it, and then they removed it again. But my point is, if there's an animation there with no hitboxing, just remove the animation. It's super deceiving. It makes 0 sense. And by the way, this happens for other moves as well, but the opposite. If I go to like sword down sig, right? This swipe goes kind of away, so then why does it pick up so close to a Suri? It's so big. And then the animation is opposite here. It should be hitting behind a bit. It's a big swipe. And then there's nothing behind. There's absolutely nothing. Still nothing. So maybe you have the argument whenever there's white, there's a hitbox. But then this, there's some white down below, but it just doesn't, it's not accurate to the animation. It just doesn't match it. And then there's certain attacks where it matches it fairly well. Like here's the Nsig. Okay, here's another really weird one that I don't think you guys actually knew about. So, or maybe before this video you did if you're cool. There's actually a tech called turbo dashing. So if I, what is it? I think it's like you spam the attack. Oh no, you spam the attack and then you try and hit the attack again and you spam dash and you can actually do like this really weird turbo dash. So you can like, you know, hit the dash button multiple times. Anyway, I don't know if you see what I'm doing here, but yeah, it's called turbo dashing. So basically, all that I know is when you do certain attacks, you can spam that attack again while pressing dodge. and you'll be able to cancel dashes to dash again. So obviously I can't down sig again until my down sig is done, but while my down sig is still out, I can do this. Like, what the hell is this? Why can I do this? Every time I say, here's another weird one. This also makes no sense at all. Okay, so you know how certain characters have like more speed and less speed, and sometimes it's related to their design. Like Zul obviously should have 4 speed if you look at him. So if you're saying okay, bigger legends should have less speed, the biggest legend, Jayin, and by the way, Jayin is bigger than Zul if you actually look at the character model. Jayin has 6 speed by default, which is more than the average legend of, I'd say, 5 speed. I'd assume it's 5 speed. There's 5 stat points. Or, I mean, 10 stat points, and 5 is in the middle. But why does Jayin, the biggest legend in Brawlhalla, have more speed than the average legend? And if we're basing stats around character designs, why does Jayin have 6 speed, but why does Queen Nai have 3 speed, half the speed of Jayin, when Jayin is like double her size? It doesn't make sense. Like, what? If anything, their stats should swap completely. Like, I get that, like, yeah, it would make sense. Jayin has armored, like, armor in his, you know, skins. Like, just switch the stats of Nai and Jayin. Then it makes sense. So why is Jayin fast? Okay, now we're on to crossovers. Okay, we got Stevonnie, and I'm going to complain about Stevonnie Gauntlet Sidesig. And if you don't know what the Gauntlet Sidesig is, I'm going to show it to you now. And you may be wondering, hey, Cosolix, this sig is really cool, by the way. Great job at BMG, it looks awesome. But why do you have a problem with it? Well, the startup frames. You can't tell which direction the Sidesig is in. Watch this. The startup frames make Stevonnie basically disappear. You're telling me a pro player that needs to react... By the way, how many frames is this? This is a lot of frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 frames. Each frame is about 16 milliseconds. We'll go... it's about, like, let's say 180 to 200 milliseconds, which is the average, or close to average reaction time. So you're telling me I have to wait 180 milliseconds at the least just to know which direction this attack is in. And then the hitboxes come out like 3 frames later. Like, what the hell? I can't punish it. Okay, here's another weird one. Why do blasters not have any projectile when in real life they should go a far distance? Like in Smash, you just have the neutral be on Fox and like it just sends horizontally, which makes sense. But the maximum distance on blasters is like side lighter cider. It's not very far. Why do the bullets like blow up so close to the gun? I'm getting demonetized for saying that. I don't care. It doesn't make sense. Like, why would this not be a projectile? And I get that if Brawlhalla didn't want projectile attacks, but then don't make blasters. Make it like a water gun or something. It's just, when you're designing the weapon, like, it's cool, but it just makes 0 sense. Blasters aren't designed to work like this in anything other than Brawlhalla. The closest thing I'd say you have to a projectile is like Isaiah, I think, Ensig, and that doesn't even go far either. If this is your furthest projectile, what the hell? Like, this kinda at least makes sense. It starts off and then it has some decent range. So why aren't other blaster attacks like this? And here's the last one. This is kind of similar to the blaster issue, but we're gonna talk about orb. Okay, so here's an orb legend. I just noticed this when researching for this video, but the orb is magical. The orb does not move because of the player. Like, if you look at the animations for this, watch the orb move. The player isn't pushing the orb. My hand is just moving, right? And it just follows my hand, which is fine. Like, I guess you can, like, make certain character, and it's the same. Look at neutral air. It just goes up magically with my hand. So, like, if you're designing a legend around magic, I guess that's kind of cool. But then, at the same time, Why does Reno or whatever have it? This guy's like a bounty hunter. It doesn't make sense. He's not part of the magic world. He's from like the equivalent of like 1800s Texas. Like, I don't know. You guys saw the... I don't know. Texas had... It looks like a cowboy now. I don't know. Whatever. It's like... It doesn't make sense. Why does he have a magical orb, right? Like, where did the magical orb come from? Why does it just follow your hand on some moves, but then on other moves, you can literally chuck it? And he doesn't even chuck it. Does he chuck it? Wait, is that a kick? Is he kicking the orb? I think he's kicking the orb. That's literally a kick. Why are you kicking the orb when you could chuck it with your hand? Doesn't make sense. It's just inconsistent. Same with Cider. He like throws it, but like doesn't actually touch it. Okay, I'm done. Brawlhalla doesn't make sense. I love this game. That's just things don't make sense. By the way, this is not a bash for Brawlhalla. It is an awesome video game, and I love playing it. But PMG, why? These things don't make sense. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing if you loved it. See you guys all later. Take care.